I want to touch on, David Torrance's passing real quick. More specifically, the findings that were just written in articles and released over the past week or so. So basically, the medical examiners are labeling it accidental. But I feel like there's still a lot of questions surrounding it. You have, in these articles, you have David's mother claiming that he was receiving death threats. That I had never heard of. I had never heard of any death threats leading up to his death until now. And then you have the different medical examiners saying, it could be this, it could be that, it could be A, it could be B, but we really can't say with certainty. We can't say definitively that this is why it happened. I feel like that's what all the articles say, right? Then you have other medical experts that come in, that chime in and say, in most cases where this happens, it's because of this. The common one from these different medical experts in these articles is that it was electrical. He had an underlying heart issue, and he had a cardiac arrest situation, basically, when swimming in that pool, and that's why he drowned. I mean, does it seem possible? Of course. Anytime you get an elite athlete who's been training their ass off their whole life, and working their heart, day after day, getting it stronger and stronger and stronger, there's always the possibility that you can have too much of a good thing, I imagine the heart can only handle so much, I know, like, what was the situation with, I can't think of his name, but he was a marathon runner, and he had built up, scar tissue around his heart just from like overtraining and just just a cumulative amount of scar tissue around his heart just from the years of high mileage, and the heart, just like anything else, it needs time to rebuild and rest and recover, and so yeah, I think it's very possible that maybe there was an underlying heart condition with David, but at the same time, it's like, if David's like the majority of us, we go to the doctor 2-3 times a year, right? They do physicals, they do they do blood tests, you have these different things done on a regular basis just for maintenance health purposes. I just feel like they would have come up with something long before this. I'd never heard, unless David's been talking about having symptoms like this, having issues in the past where, he feels like his heart might be shorting out, at the tail end of hard runs or whatever. But I haven't heard anything like that. So for this to be like, just like a one-time incident, that's the part that kind of bothers me, because 90% of the time, things don't just happen. There's always stuff leading up to it, there's warning signs, there's signals, there's signs along the way. So I don't know, there's something about his death that bothers me, because I feel like there's a lot more to be learned, there's a lot more that needs to be said. And for those of us who cared about David, and want to see, definitive answers, we want closure, we want closure. For those of us who want closure and need it, we demand more. If the medical examiners, coroner, whatever, they've done the autopsy, they should be able to pinpoint to say 95% ratio as to what caused his death. Not, it could be this, it could be that. In most circumstances, involving athletes, it's because of this. No, none of that. Like, you should have a specific, this is why it happened, it was accidental. You know, specifically, what happened? What happened? You know, you look at his heart, you say, okay, there's a little scar tissue here, a little scar tissue there, but, you know, if they came out and said something like, yeah, we noticed there was so much scar tissue in this one area that I can say with the utmost certainty that that's why he died, you know, okay, I'd be able to accept that. But I feel like we're not getting that, you know. I feel like, you know, I know the medical examiners and the coroner and anybody doing any investigation, you know, their hands are tied at a certain point. But they're still the ones that have to give us peace of mind, give us answers. It's their job. You know, and if you're going inside somebody's body, right, you should be able to tell us for damn sure what happened. Definitively what happened. And I just feel like we're not getting that. I don't know, you guys, but yeah, there's something about this that just doesn't, I don't know, doesn't sit right with me. And you know, I can only hope that we learn more in the near future. Because I want definitive answers. I want to know what happened. I don't think I'm asking for too much. I know the rest of you out there, you guys want that same closure I'm looking for. We deserve it. David sure as hell deserves it.